Yo, yo, what's up? It's your man, Sean Zattel, leaving the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, not quite getting it in frame the way I want to. I'm not going to. But there it is, Madison Square Garden. It's always so special to cover a fight here in my hometown of Manhattan. And being at the world's most famous arena, it's always special, man. I almost got, you know what, just look at it. But this was the last Top Rank show on ESPN, which means for now, indefinitely, the last boxing show on a major American network as of now, with nobody having a deal with the traditional network. PBC has the Amazon deal, but technically they're not a network, they're streaming. Anyways, Xander Zayas wins the vacant WBO title against Jorge Garcia Perez after Fundora vacated it. I gotta say what's up real quick to some colleagues though. What's up, Matt?
I got it. What's up, man?
I gotta show some love to the
colleagues. Hey, what's good, man?
What's good,
the best in the business right here, man.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Good to see you guys, man.
How you doing, man?
Just wanted, I'm doing my walk-in talk.
I'm still waiting on challenging them on Undisputed.
Good job with
I'm still waiting on
Hey,
you in Vegas
before
too.
you
Yes,
go,
sir.
Sean.
We gotta
Yes,
link
sir.
up. I'm in Vegas.
Oh, you live out there? Okay.
Yeah, I do the box. I did the boxing for Top Rank, so
I usually don't do it mid, so I'm learning how to do it on the fly. Yeah, but let's link up, brother. What's your name? Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Sean. Nice to meet you,
Before you
brother.
go, I got a message to Sean Porter.
What's up?
Sean Porter, stop ducking Ray Jackson, son. Make the fucking fight happen.
Why you gotta call my guy out? all right. Later, fellas.
All right, man.
So, all right. Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
You guys have a
Hey,
good one.
let's link up. Next time there's a fight in Vegas,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be there. I'll be there.
Sounds good, brother. Catch you guys later.
Yep.
Nice to meet you. All right, so Xander Zayas. Zayas wins the world title at 22 years old. Yes, the vacant belt that Fundora dropped to rematch Tim Tszyu. And I'll start with the critical stuff first, right? Get that out the way. First of all, Zayas, he's not a good young man. He's a great young man. He's a wonderful kid. So I don't enjoy saying this, but you could definitely argue he's the weakest champion at 154 pounds. I think most people would regard him as the weakest champion at 154, but let's contextualize that. It's a super deep division, and he's very young. He's the youngest champion in the division at 22. So, is he the weakest champion in the division? If I had to say one fighter is, and we're not counting Rene Tellez Guidon, if we're counting Rene Tellez Guidon, or not, excuse me, that's the guy that Kid Austin beat. Yoenis Tellez, I got my Tellez's mixed up. Yoenis Tellez. If we count Yoenis Tellez, who may, I believe, get elevated from regular WBA champ to full, maybe already is, so many of them, even I forget, then I would say he's the weakest champion. But if he's not considered a full champion yet, then you could say Zayas is. But he's not a finished product, and he's a technician. I think part of why Zayas hasn't been wowing us or anything is, well, speaking for me, sometimes you're waiting on that left hook, that Felix Trinidad, Miguel Cotto, Boricua power. And that's not who he is. And that I really, even though I've been covering him since his pro debut, I was there when he won his pro debut in Reno. But he's a technician. He doesn't have that wow, jump off the screen stuff that Tito and a young Cotto had. He's a technician. He's got quick hands, quick feet, very smart fighter, very high IQ fighter. And so he's gonna grow as a fighter because he's very intelligent. He trains hard, and his trainer, Javier Centeno, learned underneath Angelo Dundee. So he's gonna get better, and he's good at finding the openings, good quick hands, good feet. But I found out this weekend, he's actually a left-hander. He fights orthodox, but he's actually a left-hander. So midway through the fight, I was starting to get a little, I guess in retrospect, overzealous and ambitious for Xander, because he was starting to hurt Jorge Garcia in the 7th round. And he hurt him. He was starting to make those knees twitch a little bit. And I said, okay, Garcia, who when he comes forward, sometimes is very open for the counterpunch, sometimes gets off balance. And he was getting off balance because he was getting more desperate as Zayas built a lead. And I was starting to think, look, Xander could really do something impressive here. He might be able to pull off like an Angelo Leo Venado or a Oscar Valdez Miguel Burchell and really walk this dude into a bomb and really do something special. But reality set in. He's not as seasoned as those two champions are. Those guys are in their prime when they get those knockouts. He's not. So he faded a little bit in the second half. Just like my hair is fading a little bit in the second half of this video. He faded a little bit in the second half. I thought Garcia came on strong at 9 and 10. And then Xander closed the 12th pretty strong, definitely won that round. So he wins the fight. It's a good performance overall. I would favor Fundora over him right now because Fundora is 27. He's been knocked out, come back from that, gotten better as a fighter. He's tougher to beat now than he was when he lost to Mendoza. And I think that fight looks a little Cotto Margarito 1-ish, where Xander would be outboxing Fundora early, but over 12 rounds, with the way he faded a little bit against Garcia, you know, I don't think so. I don't think the timing of that fight benefits Xander Zayas. I think Fundora wins that fight right now. Virgil Ortiz, I still think he's got the firepower over Xander Zayas. He's the favorite over him. Xander, to his credit, called out Bakram Murdazaliev in the post-fight. Bakram looks like he's going to be fighting Lubin. Favor the guy I saw knock out Tim Tszyu in 3 or 4 rounds. I'd have to favor him too. But again, Xander's young with a high IQ, good adaptability to him, good character in and out the ring. So just because I pick some of these guys to beat him now doesn't mean I will be 24 months from now, 36 months from now. And they say, look at Brian Norman Jr. recently. You get 50% better as a champion. If that happens to Xander Zayas, he's gonna be a problem at 154. But great kid. Still, I don't think anyone's convinced yet he's the next Wilfredo Gomez, the next Wilfred Benitez, the next Miguel Cotto or Felix Tito Trinidad. But he's good, and now he's a world champion at 22. So salute to him. For the undercard, Bruce Carrington did better than the audience was giving him credit for. The audience at MSG was very listless during his fight. There's even a couple light boos at times. But Carrington's sharp, man. Very sharp counterpuncher. I've been saying for fights now that as much as I love his counterpunching game, that I do wish he has a good jab and doesn't, to my eyes, sitting on my ass at ringside, use it enough. I think he could create off that jab more. He's sharp, fast hands, so he could create a little bit more. He gets touched too, he gets hit, but he's an excellent counterpuncher. And so before anybody tries to fly off the handle with him like he's not all that, I still think his counterpunching ability and how sharp he is, good speed, he's still a tough out for anybody, or he can still beat a lot of these other champions at 26. I still think he's a very interesting fight stylistically for Inoue coming up to 26. Matias Hayda, gotta give him credit. He was the number 13th ranked guy. Top Rank says they tried to pay 1 through 12. Okay, but he winds up fighting a 13th ranked guy. But Matias Hayda, he had a heavy right hand. He had some thump in his right hand, fought a solid fight. So Carrington did his job. He did well, gets the WBC interim title, but didn't set the world on fire. Who did set the world on fire was Emiliano Vargas. You would think he was Puerto Rican and not Chicano after that first round knockout. He set the garden on fire. Actually, Emiliano Vargas was the fighter of the night. As I say that, I'm like, is he really? Zayas won a world title and sold the place out. He actually sold the place out, did Zayas. So technically, isn't it his night more so than anybody? But the crowd reaction, the person who got the biggest pop tonight was Emiliano Vargas. And part of me starts to, I tweeted this, I wonder, are people actually skeptical because of his last name and that he's a good-looking kid? Are these are things that make him very marketable, right? But are they the same things that make people skeptical of him, not commercially, but critically, as a real talent? I think this dude would be making waves as a prospect, given the exposure he's gotten, even if his last name wasn't Vargas, even if he wasn't a good-looking kid. But because he is both of those things and has a ridiculously fast pair of hands. Look, this kid, I've always said, Emiliano Vargas has speed. He is fast. Going the wrong way towards my hotel, so I'll turn around. But look, I saw Rohan Polanco and Jan Santana, two very, very fast fighters from the Dominican Republic on the undercard. He was faster than them, and they're fast. So when you're faster than the fast guys, you're really fucking fast. That's a very technical term I just used to break it all down. His hand speed is excellent, and the power has been surprising me. I didn't think he could punch like that when he was a teenager, but he's and he's being treated with caution. I think Top Rank look at him as like a very valuable, expensive, delicate diamond that they don't want to mess up. And then between his dad's experiences getting fed to Felix Trinidad too soon, they're going to err on the side of caution with how they move him. And, you know, a lot of people are pointing that out, that, okay, well, what's he doing to the level of opposition? But at 21, sky's the limit, man. There's a lot of guys we try to say, oh, he could be a star, he could be a star. Emiliano Vargas could be a superstar. He has the looks, he's got the last name, and he's got the talent. He's got great hand speed, power's coming along. He can switch both stances. I'm very excited about his future. So that's about it. That'll do it from NYC. The big news, as I've been saying on the channel for over a year, is the Ali Act trying to be amended. So boxing's in a state of flux right now. I call it the Ari Act, after Ari Emanuel, because that's what the act is really about and designed to satisfy. It has nothing really to do with Muhammad Ali and the original Ali Act. But yeah, this will do it for Top Rank on ESPN. The last couple years kind of went out with a whimper. The first few years were strong. They gave us the Wilder Fury trilogy, well, parts 2 and 3. And that was historic and amazing. Wilder and Fury 3 was as good a fight as I've ever seen live. But after Haney-Lomachenko, that was their last like major pay-per-view level show, May of 2023. After that, things just tapered down. I hope the best for Top Rank. After 60 plus years giving us great fights in boxing, we'll see what's next. But for your man Sean Patel from NYC, right outside the world's most famous arena, peace.